Alright, cool. I'm just gonna get started right away because there's a bit of an intro, so yeah. I'll just do 3, 2, 1, and go. So, this is Warp. You play as an adorable little alien, and you get abducted by filthy humans and taken to this underwater facility where they do research and experiments on you.
We're starting basic testing.
Right now we're this little transparent guy. We're not gonna remain like this for a while, but we're basically in like a weakened state. So our objective of this game is to sneak around this research facility and regain our strength so we can escape. And that's the basics of it. The beginning of this is like a little bit slow because they're now just doing basic testing on us. And try to get this ball to the middle, which is deceptively difficult. Also, if you hold multiple inputs of the same direction, you just wiggle a lot, which is great. This right here is a grub. We'll collect a bunch of those throughout the run. The alien just likes to eat them. This is a basic memory puzzle. It's the same every time, so let's not pay too much attention to it. But yeah, so we collect grubs. There's another one in the next room we'll get. And we're going to collect a total of 12 of them in this run to purchase a certain upgrade, which is going to be pretty obvious. It's we're going for the speed upgrade. We're going to move faster. So we have 2 currently, and yeah. So we have this incredibly difficult maze section coming up here, and then we get our first bit of... well, our first ability back, our first power back. We can now, as the game would, or the game's name would suggest, we can now press A to warp. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit out of my way a couple times to get some grubs, and other than that, just move through the game as fast as possible. So now I'm gonna be warping a lot because right now warping is the fastest way of movement. You can also warp through things, which is very fast. And then almost died with lasers. It's good. But yeah, so right now warping is the fastest way of movement, and so we want to keep our running to a minimum. And yeah, like I said, if you warp through things, it's very fast because there's no delay on your warp, which normally there is. There's some more grubs, and then this is where we collect the majority of our grubs. Well, not the majority, but a good chunk at least. This is like a challenge room, where this one in particular, you just need to warp to the end as fast as possible. And based on how long you take, you get the reward of either 3, 2, or 1 grubs. So we'll do it in less than 14 seconds. 12.66 is pretty good. Do it in less than 14 seconds and get 3 scrubs. Grubs, not scrubs. And now, pretty quickly, we're gonna use our new warp ability to do some fun stuff. So physics can be a little janky in this. You can also wiggle your stick to explode the... oh, this is bad. Here we go. To explode barrels and stuff. We'll get more back into that in a bit. But yeah, we can use the little propane tank or whatever that is to climb up here. And then... why is this giving me so much issues? Here we go. And just climb on top of the walls. And we can now go, well, very quickly out of bounds. And we'll spend the majority of our time, at least for the remainder of the level, we'll spend... just chilling out of bounds. It's way safer and considerably faster than doing the level normally. So one thing to note is that when you're on top of walls, if you're too close to a room, guards can still see you and they can still shoot at you. Ah, there we go. I'm terrible at that. Whoever knows me will know that my mashing game is weak. Yeah, last grub for now. And then we get to the end of the level. Boom. We're currently at 11 grubs, so we need 1 more. And the start of this level, we're just gonna be... well, unfortunately I have to do stuff as intended a little bit. But well, no worries, we'll quickly go back out of bounds the way we like it.
Would now therefore be a good time for a few donations?
Absolutely, go for it.
Awesome, thank you. We've got $25 from Susan saying, best of luck. We've also got $35 from Senior Lucha saying, wanted to make sure I donate for the event. I love the charity speedrun marathons. Keep up the great work, runners. We've also got $15 from a random pink bunny saying, good luck on the run, Spatula. You got this. Stay cute. Much love. Full of then RPB and then heart emoji. And finally, $20 from Anonymous. So indeed, thank you everyone for your donations. We're almost at $15.6k in total for Alzheimer Funding. So keep it going, everyone. It's amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those donations. Keep them coming, indeed. We haven't really missed out on a lot so far. It's just more of the same. In this case, we used the crane to get enough height to walk on some railings, and now we're back out of bounds. Once again, the way we like it. So at this point, we will stay out of bounds for as long as I can, at least in this level. We will go back in bounds right at the end, just because it doesn't actually benefit us to be out of bounds the entire way. If I happen to fall in bounds at some point, it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit of a hassle. But yeah, so there's so many triggers and cutscenes and all kinds of stuff that we're supposed to experience here that we just choose not to. Always good when you can elect not to do the game. That's how speedrunning works. Alright, so right here is our upgrade station that we're gonna use. Get the agility upgrade, and now we can run faster. And right now running is actually the fast way of movement, so we'll try to keep our warping to a minimum. And we're gonna use our newfound ability of speed to do a thing here, if I can nail it. Okay, we got it. So I warp into this room before the cutscene triggers. And the state I'm in right now is back to the weakened state, because I touched water. If you touch water, water is bad for aliens, apparently. But yeah, so while you're in the state, you can't warp, and you move slightly slower. But because we got the speed upgrade, we can actually move through that section very smoothly. That one can be quite terrifying if you don't have the speed upgrade. And now we've spent, I don't know, like 30 seconds being in bounds, so let's go back out of bounds. This is my favorite one. Brutal. You wait for this guy to go inside the water wall, and then you just, yeah, carefully explode him. Don't worry about it. This little guy is brutal. He has no chill. So that's a pretty quick out of bounds, but it actually saves a decent bit. I have to admit, I have no idea how you're supposed to do... Well, that's a little awkward. Okay, we're fine. I know how you're supposed to do that section normally, so I'm glad we got that out of bounds thing. So I went over to a bit of a blue cylinder thing. They basically work as batteries for power sources in this game, and in this case we need to explode 2 of them. There's another one right here. Once you explode 2 of them, the main doors open. You need to explode both of them. And then we're gonna get to our first, well, I guess our second ability. It's just our first new one. After the warping, because the warping you get pretty early on. So this one is Echo, and it allows us to make a clone of ourselves. So we can bait the humans into doing stupid things. Okay, you need to get out of my way, thank you. And we're not really going to use this ability for anything, except there's like one room coming up that we're going to use it. But as far as the speedrun is concerned, we don't really deal much with this particular ability. Yeah, we're gonna use it right here, because this door is too thick for us to warp through. We're gonna set up a clone and trick that guy into stepping on the button that opens the door. And then we have a little bit of a trick here, where you're supposed to do a whole bunch of stuff, and there's this wall keeping you from going through the door, but you can just blink diagonal in, it's fine. There's our beautiful boss fight, classic style, and he chose to not behave. Where are you going? Oh god. This is this fight is a whole mess. It's like, it's not terribly difficult, but then you die. Classic. It's not a terribly difficult fight, but the AI is like wonky as heck. It's very strange. He also has this water shield around him, so if you ever touch him, you lose your ability to warp and you move slower once again, so it can be a little stressful. You missed. Okay, well, we'll reset this. Hopefully it turns around at some point and we'll be fine. Oh god, okay, that works. Sure, whatever. Terrible fight. But yeah, that fight can go a number of different ways. He can just sometimes get stuck and just not pay attention to you, which was what happened the first time. Or he is very, very excited and punches through a pillar and a box and then through you and stuff. It can get very stressful. That was a pretty mediocre fight, but that's fine. We'll take those. So that is technically the second time we see that guy, but we pretty much skipped the entire section where he chases you earlier on, so let's just call that our first boss fight. Ah, damn it, I missed. I was trying to warp during the little camera pan there. It's not a big deal, but yeah. Another section where we're going to use our clones to, or echo, to entice these soldiers to shoot their own defensive equipment. Wait for this guy to turn around so he doesn't blast us. And we're good. That's like one of the hardest sections for me. That guy in particular. There we go. I just blinked too early. That's fine. Alright. I'm gonna wait for this guy to turn around and just play it safe. Ooh. Sketchy. A lot of this is kind of sketchy. It's kind of close to a lot of these warps, but that's fine. Or we skip another section by just walking along the little edge of the conveyor belt there. And now we're getting towards the hard part of this run. Okay, so yeah, you see sometimes when you warp into things, like whether it's turrets, you kind of stun them, or it's humans, then you just daze them, paralyze them for a bit. Alright, here we go. Let's hope this goes well. So this hallway right here, this turret is like... This turret is brutal. It will flick shot you like nobody's business. If you get on a bit of an unfortunate cycle here, then it can be really rough to get out of this hallway. He still got me. I thought I blinked early enough. And it's also unfortunate because once you trigger a checkpoint on this, you have to trigger a different checkpoint to reactivate a former or prior checkpoint. So this one won't activate on my way back. It will just be activated on... Yeah, we'll just play this super safe. What I should have been doing all along, but that's fine. Bit of an unfortunate... Okay, we're fine. We're fine, sure. Let's just go. Woohoo. We made it through. Finally. Right, so this is where we get another ability. We can now use our clones to swap places with objects. Which is very nice. And we're going to use this ability to do definitely the hardest trick in the game. I have a bit of a different way of doing this, but I'm trying to get this barrel stuck up there. Like that. And put it on this railing. And then we're going to try to make it wobble up here. That did not work. I'm going to move you. Make it wobble up. Nah, come on. Supposed to just hang on top of the wall there, the northern wall, I suppose. And we can use that to go like no. That is also unfortunate. This is why we have a solid estimate. Yeah, this is strange. This is unusually bad, even for me.
Please don't.
But the main point of it, of course, as with pretty much everything in this game, is just to get out of bounds. There we go, finally. First try, easy. That's what the pros say, right? Alright, so yeah, now we just I do some blinks here and there just to avoid random gaps in the level where you can fall and die, which would be very unfortunate, especially seeing as we took so long getting out of bounds in the first place. And yeah, now we just run to the end of the level. We have all the abilities we need. There's only really one more ability in the game, which will let you warp into something and then press B to shoot it out. Shoot it at things, which you use to solve a bunch of puzzles that we will skip by once again going out of bounds. Conveniently, the game gives you that ability just at the end anyway, just because it assumes you have it, because you're supposed to need it. Then, now for a while we're just gonna run out of bounds and then go back the same way we came. And then at the beginning of this level, we're just gonna go out of bounds immediately again and then run to the end. So if you have anything more to share with the lovely people, go for it.
Absolutely. Something I'd like to remind is that later today, there will be the Fallout New Vegas run, and one of the incentives for it is to do the intro blindfolded. And we're currently sitting at $458 out of 500. So we're getting closer and closer to meeting that incentive, and the time is closing in. So definitely get those donations in, and plus, bonus, we'll also get closer to 15.6k, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Blindfolded stuff is always fascinating to watch, so anyone who can afford it, please pitch in. That sounds great. Alright, so yeah, we continue our out-of-bounds underwater adventures. For some reason there's like no music or sound effects here until this point. And we just make a little trip over to the left here, right? I'm very good with directions, don't worry about it. And we enter the Submarine, which is the last section of the game. So hopefully we're not doing too terrible. So here in the beginning section, we want to trigger a checkpoint. And then we want to suicide, like that. That skips the whole beginning section, which makes the submarine rock back and forth and complicates stuff quite a bit. And then once again, you wouldn't guess it, we're gonna try to go out of bounds, and hopefully this goes well. I have a bit of an awkward angle here, but it should be fine. And here we go. We just casually climb that wall and jump into this vent of some description, which I have no idea why this is here. Because there's no way to get here normally without going up top and going out of bounds. But yeah, you just get to the section, you skip the entire... it doesn't actually save any time versus doing everything in the middle, like on the left here, optimally, but it's so free. You just run to the end here, and for some reason there's this wall that you can just break down. And we go to the final boss. Well, it's the same boss, but it's just the final time we face him. So this boss has a couple things going on. He will try to shoot you with a laser, as his will. And we try to shoot these barrels at him. The batteries from earlier. You have to shoot him 3 times and then just not get killed. And then we're home free. It's gonna stop now and start melting my cover. And time it and shoot a barrel, and he gets stunned again. So I'm using my warp ability here to just move the barrels behind cover so that they don't explode. Makes this fight a lot less stressful. And there we go. That's awkward. Okay, so that's 3. And now we just hide. And water will rise, so we can't use our warp anymore, but it doesn't matter. Unless you do big goof here, then you should all be good. Okay. So now we just try to run away from the guy, which is pretty easy. And here we go. It's another couple cutscenes to skip, and then we just run to the end, and time is coming up in maybe like 10 seconds. I've been talking a lot and I apologize. Alright, time is coming. There. Time. Excellent.
GG.
And now you just watch the little adorable alien dance and have fun and be super excited that he's out of this horrible situation. And yeah, that's it. I know we're a little behind schedule, so if you want to cut me off at any point, go for it.
Well, I just want to say first off, thank you for running. It was definitely a very interesting run.
It's a quick, intense one.
Yes, quick and intense, just like how we like our runs. Up next, we'll be going very soon into a short intermission, and right after that, get ready to watch Shippo Old Bosses by Cutieroo. So stick around everyone, and we'll be seeing you after this intermission.